What's up, guys? This is going to be more of a personal share video and less of a connecting to higher thoughts, shall we say. But I talked about this briefly in a video I recently did about this kind of gay double standard, and I want to go into it a bit more in this video, specifically around the medical mandates that have been going on, the mask wearing. As you know, my personal point of view is that I don't subscribe to that kind of stuff. It's not in alignment with who I am, and if it's in alignment with who you are, great, but that doesn't mean that, you force everyone to do what the medical industry wants you to do. Anyways, I see the pattern a lot of shaming people not wearing masks, or even wearing masks but not wearing them over their noses in the gay community. And I just want to shed light on the double standard again of this community that supposedly is supposed to be all loving, all accepting, embracing all, and yet, because they're so lost in either the indoctrination or the fear, they can't see that they're slinging hate at people, specifically people who aren't subscribing to the medical mandates going on. And the funny thing about it is, a lot of them would say, well, it's for my safety, you're a danger to my safety, or yada, yada, yada. But the thing is, they don't understand that they're perpetuating the same hatred and separation that was placed on them growing up as gay men and women, or gay children, gay boys and girls. And like, my perspective on it is I had to, tiptoe around the fact that I was gay basically my whole growing up life, because whether consciously or specifically unconsciously, I got the message that it was wrong, that it was dangerous to be gay, that you can infect people with your gayness, that it was a threat to the modern family, or to the traditional family, that you're going to be going to hell and all this stuff. So growing up, I had that side that many gay men and women know in some way, that you have to hide a part of yourself because it's not accepted, it's not okay, and it caused a lot of separation, obviously. Hence a lot of the gay movements that have been branded to create unity, which is great, and a lot of people have found that unity, including myself, and as far as like being a gay person. But now the tables are turned. I'm having the opposite experience of being this sovereign person who has not gotten sick in a very, very long time, who has no interest in what's being rolled out, and yet the same people who have been called dangerous by priests or whoever, teachers, family, are now being called dangerous by the gay community, especially a lot of other communities, but specifically the gay community, of not being loving, not being selfless because you're not wearing a mask, not being a threat to them, when they're doing the exact same thing that their perpetrators did to them growing up for being gay. They could see clearly that they were not a threat to anyone by being themselves, by being gay, by being lesbian, whatever. Just as I and many others can clearly see not wearing a mask at all or over your nose is not a threat to anyone's health. I know in this world, that's a radical statement. And I'll even give it this. From one reality, it's very true. You can get people sick. It's very scary. From one very low reality, that is true. But from many other, even slightly higher realities, it's an illusion. And to keep living and tiptoeing around the gay community, especially, to try and win them over. Like, I don't care, you know, like that kind of tiptoeing, that kind of honoring political correctness in, you know, the idea of honoring political correctness, but like as if you're being like hip and cool by doing so, I have no interest. I have zero interest. So that's my share. And again, this is not to re-shame them. It's not to create any more separation. It's literally just to illuminate what's going on, the energy behind it. And if you're one of those gay men or women who attack someone for not wearing a mask, or attack someone, again, there's a difference between saying, hey, like, this is my store, and, you know, because if people calmly say, like, I want you to do this or that, and I don't agree, we can have a civil disagreement and I can walk out of the store. But it's this attacking, this separation, this, you know, but I would even say, you know, if you're a store owner, like, you should, you know, but again, that's your call. That's, you know, if you're creating those control mechanisms in your store, like, see how that will play out in 5-10 years, you know what I'm saying? But again, if you're perpetuating this, just look at it. You don't even have to change it necessarily, but just be aware that you're doing this. Be aware that you're flinging perhaps the unresolved hate from being gay or being a lesbian. And trust me, guys, if you haven't dealt with all of the shame and pain of growing up in this heterosexual world as a gay person yet, I guarantee you're flinging that back onto other people unconsciously. And one of the ways that many gay men and women are doing that now is through the people who aren't following the orders, the mask and the other orders. So yeah, that's my personal share. Yeah, take it for what it is. And yeah, it would be nice to live in a world where, you know, and again, eventually we will live there, but it may not be for a while, or at least most people's realities won't get there for a while, where, like, you can be who you are fully, and part of that is honoring your medical piece. Just like you have a gay piece that's not a lot of who I am, it's a part of who I am, though. You have a medical perception piece of whether you want to go down the path of Western medicine, of more natural medicine, of allopathic. Like, it doesn't matter, but it's a piece of who you are, just like being gay is a piece of who you are, being straight is a piece of who you are. So eventually we'll live in a world where all parts of ourselves are honored and respected, and we can cohabitate and realize that the threats that we think we are to each other and the dangers that we think that we are to each other aren't actually necessarily the case, and are being exploited for, let's say, not so benevolent reasons. Have a great day, guys.